Welcome to Jurassic Park. Welcome to Jurassic World. That's what you have to say as you go into this movie. Different titles. Anyway, hey there guys, what's up? It's Autobot Mike 18 here with another movie review. Guys, in this video, I am going to be doing a review for the next biggest blockbuster of summer 2015. As you guys know, I basically already gave away the title in this video. And of course, the film I'm going to be reviewing is Jurassic World. That is right, guys. We have gotten a brand new Jurassic Park movie. As we all know, the infamous Jurassic Park was released in 1993 from Mr. Steven Spielberg, the director, and that film completely changed cinema, and that was the first film in the series. We had two other sequels that followed Jurassic Park, and now I don't know how long it's been between the gap between Jurassic Park 3 and this movie, but it's been 22 years since the release of the first Jurassic Park. And we have a new Jurassic movie in the title of Jurassic World. This film is directed by Colin Trevorrow, and executively producing the film is none other than Mr. Steven Spielberg himself, the man who started all of this. And we have a new Jurassic Park movie. What can I say? Now, I know a lot of people were really either very skeptical of this movie going into it, or some were really pumped because of the disappointment that they felt that they experienced as they watched Jurassic Park 3, or even The Lost World, which was Jurassic Park 2. I know a lot of people did not care for the third film, and some people probably feel that there hasn't been a good Jurassic Park movie since the first one. So this movie had some high expectations. However, when the first few trailers and TV spots were released, and I'll be the first to admit, I agree with people who were complaining that the CGI did not look that great. So, you know, there were a lot of mixed feelings going in, even some plot points that were revealed in the trailer. People were like, why the hell is this happening? But nevertheless, you know, is Jurassic World a good movie? That's the question everyone is dying to know. Is it going to be better than the first? Could it even possibly be better than the first one? Or is it just going to be a decent summer movie to enjoy? You guys will find out very shortly in this review. Anyway, with that said, guys, let's get into the plot of Jurassic World. First off, this film is indeed a sequel, I'm assuming, to the third film. Now, just a little note I want to point out. I did not see Jurassic Park 2, The Lost World, and I did not see Jurassic Park 3. So I have no idea what happens in those movies. I only saw the first one, and now I just watched Jurassic World. But I'm assuming this is still a sequel to the third film. You can look at it as a reboot in a way, but it's not a specific reboot of the first film. It's just a reboot of the franchise, I guess you could look at it like that. But I would specifically look at it as a sequel within the franchise. With that said, it's been years since the original film, the events of the original film, and a new dinosaur theme park has opened in the name of Jurassic World. There are a bunch of new dinosaur exhibits, and the public absolutely loves the hell out of this theme park. It draws in an insane amount of tourists and an insane amount of dough, if you know what I mean. And the scientists and the park managers, operators, have decided to create a new exhibit for the public by gene splicing and crossbreeding a Tyrannosaurus rex and several other species of reptiles and whatnot. And they have created a brand new dinosaur by the name of the Indonius, I'm probably forgetting the name, the Indonius rex, I want to say. I'm probably wrong on that, though. They've created this new species of Tyrannosaurus rex that is supposedly much more powerful, bigger even, and a bigger threat. And when this dinosaur escapes its containment and gets loose within the park, it's up to one of the park managers, played by Bryce Dallas Howard, and expert velociraptor trainer, played by Pratt in this movie, to hunt down this dinosaur and basically save the day before it completely kills everybody in the park. And that, my friends, is the basic plot behind Jurassic World. So there you have it. Now, one thing I just want to point off right off the bat before I get any further into the review. This is the first Jurassic Park movie, I believe. I haven't seen 2 or 3, but I don't think they did this in those movies. This is the first Jurassic Park movie where the actual theme park is being open to the public. So that right off the bat intrigued me when I first watched the trailer for the movie. Because I'm like, oh wow, they actually opened it up to the public this time. So when a dinosaur gets loose, that's definitely going to be even worse. The stakes are going to be even higher than when it came to the stakes in the first movie, even. If I had to compare the two, that's where a major difference lies. Because in the first film, it was just scientists and potential endorsers who were visiting the park in its early stages of development. Now it's the actual general public and tourists. So you know you got problems on your hands when dinosaurs start running amok. So that is the plot of Jurassic World. Now guys, I want to clear up one question right now that I'm pretty sure most of you could have answered on your own, even if you didn't go see this movie in the theaters. The question I'm sure some of you may be curious about is this film a better movie than Jurassic Park? Does Jurassic World stand on its own, and does it manage to blow me away cinematically, visually, as opposed to the first Jurassic Park film? The answer is quite simple. You guys already know what it is. I already knew what it was going into the film before I even watched it. No. Okay? Jurassic World is not a better film than Jurassic Park. There's no way. That film was a landmark in cinema, guys. That one scene alone where Richard Attenborough introduces the park to Sam Neill and Laura Dern, that scene, not only is that one of the greatest scenes in movie history, in my opinion, but it just defined the greatness of cinema at that one point in time when that film was released. So Jurassic World's got a lot on its shoulders if it really wants to be a better movie than Jurassic Park. That being said, Jurassic World, after having watched the entire film, this movie is not trying to be a better movie than Jurassic Park, and I'm pretty sure most of us expected that going into the film. The thing about Jurassic World that worked so well for me, not only was this film highly entertaining to watch and very exciting at the same point, I just sat down in this theater and I just completely got lost within the story of this movie. I was just like, okay, some things that are happening in this movie are really dumb. Okay, I really may not buy into certain things, but I am enjoying the shit out of it. Okay? That's what I was saying as I was watching this movie. And not only are the visual effects just utterly mind-blowing in this movie, but the number one thing that makes Jurassic World a good movie, in my opinion, is that it highly pays respect and homage to the film that started this series and absolutely revolutionized the way we look at cinema in that one year for that one movie in regards to using special effects especially. Jurassic World pays absolute perfect respect to its founding film Jurassic Park. And that's why I enjoyed this movie as much as I did. I really did. The little references and Easter eggs that were hidden throughout this movie that completely tied into the first film, some people may find them annoying. I took it as the director was trying to pay tribute to Steven Spielberg and all the filmmakers who worked on that amazing piece of cinema. That is what I looked at it as. No, they were not trying to cop off the success of Jurassic Park. They were merely making a sequel, and in my opinion, they were trying to pay respect to that film. Whether it's little hidden Easter eggs, little props that were even used in the first Jurassic Park film, or even John Williams' beautiful score. I kid you not, that one track, the greatest track of Jurassic Park, was... It's the Jurassic Park theme. The minute I heard that playing in this film, it happens 15 minutes into the movie, I just smiled. I sat there and a wide grin grew on my face, and I'm like, thank you. Thank you. Yes, they're using John Williams' score, but they're using it in their own way to make their own film special, and they're not trying to be better than the first one. And that's what I respected and admired so much about this film. And to just hear that music, that iconic score, playing again, although it wasn't used as well as the first film utilized it, it was still good enough for me to at least hear something like that and just remind me of how much Jurassic Park was a good movie. Now, I own it on Blu-ray, guys, okay? I love this movie, alright? I grew up watching this movie. I kid you not, when I watched this when I was a kid, the third act of this movie scared the living crap out of me, okay? I seriously thought these dinosaurs were real, and I was like, when did they shoot this? Did they shoot this back millions of years ago? I kid you, that's how I felt watching Jurassic Park. you know that the dinosaurs are CGI in this movie, and you're aware of that. You're aware that the characters are not as memorable or as exciting, or you're aware that they don't have as many layers as the characters of Jurassic Park did. But, you know, on its own, as a standalone film within this series, it introduced interesting characters and had great performances and had very, very well done CGI, despite the fact that none of that is able to be better than the first. And again, they were not trying to be better. They were just making a sequel, and that is what I admire in this film. Now, getting into the things that really worked for me with this movie, apart from those references and the things that just made me feel good about Jurassic Park, what I really loved about this movie are several performances that I really want to mention real briefly. First off, Chris Pratt was really good in Guardians of the Galaxy. Alright, he was great in the Lego movie. He had a great year last year. Now he's in this leading role, and the guy is becoming a movie star, okay? I wasn't a huge fan of him when I first saw Guardians, but the guy has a very certain charm to him that he had in Guardians and portrayed very well, and that is probably his best performance to date. But he is by far the best actor in this film, and his character is the most exciting character in this film. And if I had to go as far as to say this, I will, that his character was the best character out of this movie, and he will probably be slightly as memorable as some of the characters in Jurassic Park World, like Jeff Goldblum or Sam Neill for that matter. And that is what I love. Chris Pratt's character was wise, he was intelligent, and he was, above all, he was a freaking badass, okay? Above all, Chris Pratt was great in this movie, kept it as entertaining as it was, and not one point did I thought he was the best character in the film, by far. Bryce Dallas Howard's character is basically playing the particular corporate executive you expect to find in a movie like this, and she does it very well in this movie, in my opinion. I really bought into her performance. Vincent D'Onofrio, who is a decent, really good actor, was also good in this movie. He has a few iffy lines, and I'll get into the script later. And Jake Johnson's character, although he had a few iffy lines as well of dialogue that I didn't really buy into, all of these characters come into use at some point in the film, and when they do, it really does pay off. Bryce Dallas Howard's character especially comes into use in the end, and something she did in the end of this movie just put a giant smile on my face. I'm not going to spoil it or anything, but I loved it. I loved the hell out of it. Anyway, so the cast for the majority really worked. The acting was decent, especially Chris Pratt just was perfect in the film. What else really worked in this movie? Now, yes, they used John Williams' score in some moments, and you hear it at least 2 or 3 times in the film, and that's perfect on its own right. But the actual score that I'm pretty sure was original for this movie was composed by Michael Giacchino, a really decent composer. Did a very good job with. I thought the score was great, and although now I know you guys are gonna feel this way, and I'm gonna reaffirm your beliefs. The visual effects do not match up to Jurassic Park. The dinosaurs in this movie looked unbelievably real, and I'll stand by that, and I'm sure you guys will stand by that as well. The dinosaurs in this movie, although you can tell it's CGI, it looks very damn good. There was only one bit of CGI. They used CGI blood in one moment and just didn't work for me. That was literally the only moment of the film that killed it for me in regards to the visual effects. Other than that, although the visual effects in Jurassic Park still succeed over the visuals in Jurassic World because they just looked so real and scaly, the dinosaurs, and they look good in this movie, but nothing is going to top what they looked like in Jurassic Park. That being said, this is one of the best visually looking films I've seen all year, and I would love to see it get an Oscar nomination for Best Visual Effects. It looked pretty damn good, and I bought it for this type of movie released in 2015 with what we can do with special effects. The story, in my opinion, was also very well done. I really bought into it. There's a whole subplot about using dinosaurs as weapons that they sort of started building up on, and I really enjoyed that subplot. I wish they had developed it further, but I thought that was pretty interesting, and honestly, that was something I didn't expect from this movie. And again, the references and everything that just bring a giant smile to your face are what really sells the movie for me. The shots also looked really good. Colin Trevorrow did a very good job behind the camera, in my opinion. Did he do as good as a job as Steven Spielberg? Definitely not. but it was good enough for me, in my opinion. The scope of the movie is vast and big, and it looks really freaking good. If I had to list any problems with this film, I will say this that I said earlier. There are characters in this movie that do dumb decisions. The kids in this movie, for example, and the kids in Jurassic Park made 1 or 2 dumb choices. In this movie, the kids in this movie make one giant dumb decision that just made me go, alright, I've seen it before. Don't make them do that the whole movie. And thankfully they didn't, but you get the point. Even the adults, the main premise of this film makes you say to yourself, why are the humans so dumb as to actually crossbreed several dinosaurs and several reptiles? That whole premise is just, like, you're asking yourself, why the hell would they actually do that? Obviously something is going to go wrong, and you better be sure your security is damn beefed up, and you better not go overboard with the crossbreeding. I'm not going to get into it, but the scientists and the humans responsible for creating this breed of dinosaur in the movie, they're dumb for doing this to begin with. And I know they're doing it for money, that's their motive, but still, don't be that dumb, okay? There are a few poor lines of dialogue here or there throughout the movie. That being said, it's not god-awfully terrible, okay? It's livable. Some of the humor doesn't work, but I lived with it. With that said, those are my thoughts on Jurassic World. It is not as good as Jurassic Park, not even close, but it is a damn entertaining and highly enjoyable film that definitely pays respect and homage to that film, and that's why I enjoyed Jurassic World as much as I did. And I must say this much, the saving grace of this film is the final 20 minutes. That final battle, my mouth was open the entire runtime of that battle. I was like that the entire battle. I was like, this is freaking awesome. One of the coolest scenes of a movie you'll see all summer. That being said, I'm going to give Jurassic World an 8.75 out of 10 or a B+. I enjoyed this movie, guys. I had a really fun time watching it. It is not as good as the first. It is not trying to be as good as the first. It is paying respect to the first one, and that is why I enjoyed it as much as I did. Go out and see this movie. If you're a fan of the Jurassic Park series, for sure go check it out. And if Jurassic Park was real, Jurassic World was real, would you guys go to it? Let me know down below. Guys, if you've seen the movie, let me know what you thought of it down below. Let me know what you think of the first Jurassic Park as well. Thank you guys so much for watching my video. I really appreciate it. I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.